Right, so this is part 2 of Joe Satriani's Friends. This is the actual lesson part. So let's have a look, see how it goes. It's got lots of parts in it, this, so take your time, work on it slowly. So here's this little intro part he does. Alright, so this little intro here, it's a D, what would you say, D sus2 chord, and the most important thing with this little intro is you are not strumming all of the chord, you're not going, you're hitting the D string first. So you've got that D, and then down, up, down. And then you're going to move this first finger up to the F sharp 2nd fret here on the low E. And then a little strum solo. Strum, and then change this finger, so you're playing this G chord, so your 2nd finger comes up to the 3rd fret on the low E. So you've got. So in between those bass notes, you're doing that little strum here on the high strings. So it's not this. Can you hear the difference? The last one is an A chord. Alright, then we're going to repeat that 3 times. So. Here's where it changes. We go to B minor now. So hit the B note first on the 2nd fret of the A. Playing a G note, 3, to an A, to a 5, and then back to that D sus2 chord. All right. Right, so that's a little intro, the little chordal intro. You don't have to do that if you're playing the solo part. It's just that, you know, when you're kind of waiting for the solo to start and you're kind of standing there like that, it looks a bit weird. So if you can play the chords, that's great. That's the first bit if you want to learn it anyway. So let's get on with the main melody. So here's the first bit, the little melody at the beginning. Alright, so this is a high melody. It's on 17 on the high E, so we've got this. So you're going 17 to 19 on the high E. Give that 19 a bit of vibrato. Back to 17 again. Alright, then we have. That's 15 to 17. Twice on the 17. And then bend up. Alright, hold step. Release back down to 17. That's 15 on the B, all right, and then a quick pull off from 16 to 14 on the G. That was a little pull off too from 17. So you get that, all right, so far. Next bit is this. Now, this one is one that can go wrong very easily. So you're playing this 17 on the high E, and then 3 times. So once, and another 3 more times, and then back to 19 here. And then a slide up to 22, and this is where it can go wrong. Back down to 17. Alright, so Then we're back to 15 to 17, and again, and bend again. All right, so far. Then we have this. This is 14 to 16. 15 on the B, 16, 14, 16, 15, and then the bend. Alright, then we have this. So we're bending here, 17 on the B, let down, pick again, up again, but at the top, kill it with your right hand. Let down, re-pick on 17, alright, so. And then pull off 17 to 15. 16 on the G, 15 on the B. Pull off 17 to 15. And then here's the end of the phrase. 16, 14. And then to the 7th fret, this is a D note, this is the kind of key of the song, alright, so if I play from alright, so that's the end of the little melody. Now what he does next is some octaves, so he's kind of doing this. Okay, so now this is kind of hard to explain in terms of numbers, so I'm just going to do it with one finger. So, but first of all, let me just explain. An octave is where you're playing the same note. So this first note is an F sharp on the high E, and this is an F sharp note, same note, but lower down, you know, it's called an octave. And what I'm doing with these hands is I'm muting the strings. So my second and third fingers are kind of just resting over the strings here. What that means is I can hit everything without having to worry about the noise, you know, because otherwise it would be... That's terrible, isn't it? Horrible, but that kind of sound, all right? So what I'm going to do is, just to make it easy to explain, I'm going to kind of explain this section with one finger. So I'm just going to go... All right, and then you can add the octaves afterwards. It's a bit easier there. So we're starting on 14 on the high E, twice, 15, right back to 14, 12, slide back to 10 on the high E, back to 12, twice on the 12, 14 on the high E, slide back to 10, and back to 12 again. So if I add the octaves, you've got that there, all right? So here's the next part. So this is 14, 15, 17, 14, 15, 17, 12, back to 10, to 12, then the last bit. So this one is the longest one. So let me go from the top. So if I go. Then we have 10, 12, 15, 14, 12, 10, 12. Now we're going to go to the B string. Slide 12 back to 10. And then 12 up to 14. 15 on the B, back to 12 to 10. 12. Back to 10. And then finish here on this, which is 7 on the G. So now all of the octave shapes are the same for the E, these bits here. So for the G and the E string, they're the same. For the D and the G, they're the same. But when you get to this bit, it gets a bit smaller. So the shape isn't so big. So the octave shape is 5 on the A and then 7 on the G there. So you've got that. So that's the octave sound. All right. So that's that octave part. If you don't want to play it as octaves, if you've got a harmonizer, you could use that, or you could just, you could just play those single notes if you want to. So take your time with that little octave part. It's a bit trickier than you think, actually. So let's move on. Okay, so here's this next part. Alright, so this is a nice part. It's 17 on the high E with a bit of vibrato. So when you let it down, back to 17, 15, 14 on the high E, 15, and then bend up that 15, let it down, pull off to 14, 15, with a rake, slow, bend down, and then 14 on the G. So then we're up here to the 21st fret. So this bit is 21. So you're bending that 21 up to 22. You're doing that 4 times, is that? Then you have this. That is 19, 21, 22. Then you're bending up 22 a whole step up to the 24th fret. Lots of vibrato. And again. Alright, so that's that section there. Then we have this bit. Sorry, let me play that again. That's better. So this is 17, bend up, kill it at the top. Then you're coming down 17, 16, 15. Then bend 17 on the B. Kill it again with your right hand. Then 14, 15, 16, 17. This is a nice move, isn't it? Bend up 17 on the B, let down, pull off to 15. Up again, down, pull off. So far we've got this. Bend 16, 17 on high E, to 14 on G. Alright. Then we have this. This is a nice move. This 20 on the high E, bend up to 22. Then we have this nice blues lick. So this is 18 on the B, bend kind of a half step. And then 17 to 19 on the high E. Same again. That bit at the end is to that 18 on the B and then 19 here on the G. Alright, now we have this cool move. Alright, so this is some sixes here. 11 on the G, slide into 10 on the high E. And then 14 on the G to 14 on the high E. And then 16 on the G to 15 here on the high E. And then the shape changes, slide 17 to 19 on the G. 17 on the high E. 19 on the G. And then 22nd on the high E there, so. Right, okie dokie, that's that little section. Now we're on to, I guess it's a solo really. And the solo, the first part goes like this. I'll do it slow. So, he's doing that kind of thing. So this is 4, pull off the 2, pull off the open D, 4 on the A, and then an open D. Alright, so that's the move he's doing there. And then he moves to this idea. That's quite a nice move, it kind of rolls off your fingers. Not at first, maybe. After a bit of practice, it does. So this is a hammer on open D to second fret on the D, just and off again. And then 5, 4, 2 on the A to open A. Sorry, that's a little hammer on there. 4 to 5 off the 4 off the 2. Sorry, that's my mistake. Did you see that? Sorry, let me recap that. That was after you've done that. 4, hammer on to 5. Off to 4, off to 2. And the last time you do the A twice. Now we've got a long run that he does in D major. That's a long run, isn't it? So what we've got here is open D. It's always going to an open D. To 2 to 4, 4 to 5, with the open D of course, 5 to 7, 7 to 9, 9 to 11, 11 to 12, 12 to 14, 14 to 16, and then 16 to 17, 17 to 19, 19 to 21. And then we're going to the G string, which is 16 to 18, 18 to 19, and then we've got this bit here, which is kind of you're hammering on to the G, right, to that, what's that, the 19th fret, and then you're pulling off 21 to 19. Now we've got this lick next. So you're doing this kind of blues lick here. You're bending 21 and you're catching 22 on the B. that move, you're letting down 21. Pull off to 19, 21 on the D, and then bend up 22, let down to 20. All right, so that's a long phrase, that one. Take your time with that one. He's really just going up the D major scale. Here's the next part. So this is very similar to the last one, slightly different though. So we've got, so bend 17 on the high E, up, kill it with your right hand, let it down, and then 17, 16, 15. Bend up 17 on the B, a whole step, let down, pull off to 15. And then 16, bend up a whole step, let down, play 14 on the G. So far we've got, and then 14 a bend. I'm doing this with my first finger, that's a bit of a tricky bend. Back to 12, 14 on the A, 12, 14. And then you're doing a bend. I'm bending down here. My vibrato bending down always sounds a bit kind of crazy sounding, but anyway. And then slide off, all right? So. Okay, now that takes us back to this part. That's the same as that other bit we did, all right? So at the beginning. So same. Now, what changes after that? You have this. So this bit is double stop, 12 on the B, 10 on the high E, and then 10 and 9, 8 and 7, 11 on the G, 10 on the B, 9 and 8, 7 on G, 7 on the B. So let me recap. Then you have this blues idea. Yeah, right, so this is 7 on the G, bend up a whole step, 5 on the B, 5 on the E. Do that twice. That's all a downstroke, by the way, with the pick. And then you're skipping that B string on the last time to the 5, all right? And then the slide from 7 to 9 on the G string, all right? So from that bit, we have this bit. So you're bending up 10 on the high E, up a whole step, and then 7 to 9, up a half step then. Then you have this lick. Which is a nice legato phrase. So this is 9, pull off to 5, that's a bit of a stretch. Hammer on to 7, up to 9, pull off 9 to 7, off to 5. And then 7 off to 5. And then this bit, so this is 8, put off to 5, hammer on to 7, up to 8, down to 5, off to 7, off to 5 again, and pull off 7 to 5. Alright. This end bit is 7 off to 6 on the G, up to 7, 9, 7, 6. Let me play that slow, there's a lot of numbers. Alright, so. Then we have this lick. Now this is a cool blues one. You're bending up 10 on the B. 10 on the high E, 10 on the B. A little half step bend on 12 on the high E. 12 back to 10. And then a little kind of another blues phrase. 13, bend up a whole step to 10 on the high E. Do the same bend again. Bend up, let down to 10 on the B. So. And then bend up 12 on the G. Let down, back to 11. 12. 12 on the G, 11 on the G, 12 on the D, and then 10, that's where it changes to 10 on the G to 12. That's a complicated lick, that is. Take some going over that one, I'll do it slow. If you can get a curl on that 10 on the G. That's great. And then we have this bit here at the end, same as before. Which is the same bit. And then it's back to the melody again, which is this bit, you know. So there we are. I hope you enjoyed that. It's a great song, that Satriani's Friends. Like all the Joe Satriani songs, the vibrato and getting it to sing is quite difficult. You can, check out his version, obviously. You can watch mine in the performance, which is no way as good as his, but you can have a listen anyway, just so you can hear how the parts fit together. So I hope you enjoy that. Remember to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.